Hey guys, Miss Daly here, and today we're going to be doing Topic 14, Lesson 1. In this lesson, you're going to be creating or extending a number sequence based on a rule and identifying features of the pattern in the sequence that are not described by the rule. We're going to get started with the visual learning bridge, so if you will turn in your Envision book to page 522, you can follow along with us. How can you use a rule to continue a pattern? Think about this question during the lesson. The house numbers on a street follow the rule add 4. If the pattern continues, what are the next 3 house numbers? Describe a feature of the pattern. You can use a number line to help make sense of the problem and find the next 3 house numbers. A rule is a mathematical phrase that tells how numbers or shapes in a pattern are related. The rule for the house numbers is add 4. Why does the picture show jumps on the number line? Some numbers are skipped to get from one house number to the next house number. What is the same about each jump? Each jump adds 4. The next 3 house numbers are 20, 24, and 28. Some patterns have features that are not given in the rule. One of the features of this pattern is all the house numbers are even numbers. Does the rule say that all the numbers are even? No, the rule just says to add 4 to get the house number. Now you know how to use a rule to continue a pattern. So at this point, we're going to move into your Envisions book. So if you will turn to page 523, we're going to get started with the guided practice. So before we do that, at the very top, I did just want to point out, it has an example. On another street, the house numbers follow the rule subtract 5. What are the next 3 house numbers after 825? Describe a feature of the pattern. So we would count backwards from 825, subtracting 5 would give us 820, subtracting another 5 would give us 815, and subtracting another 5 would give us 810. The feature of the pattern is that all of the house numbers are multiples of 5. All right, so now we're going to get started with the guided practice. Number 1 says Rudy's rule is add 2. He started with 4 and wrote the numbers below. Which number does not belong to Rudy's pattern? So we have 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8, but 8 plus 2 is not 9. The rest still work though, because if we skip the 9, we go 8 plus 2 is 10, 10 plus 2 is 12, so 9 does not belong. Number 2 says continue the pattern and describe a feature of the pattern. So the pattern is to subtract 6. So 48 minus 6 is 42. 42 minus 6 is 36. 36 minus 6 is 30. 30 minus 6 is 24. 24 minus 6 is 18. 18 minus 6 is 12. And 12 minus 6 is 6. So a feature of this pattern is that the numbers are multiples of 6. The other thing you could say is that they're all even. So those are just some examples of features. At this point, we're going to move on to the independent practice. So I'm going to have you guys complete numbers 3 through 12, and then we'll go over those. So at this point, pause the video, complete numbers 3 through 12, and then we'll go over them together. All right, at this point, we're going to go over numbers 3 through 12, so please make sure you've done those. Number 3 says subtract 3, and so they've started with 63, 60, and 57. When we subtract 3 from 57, we get 54, and 54 minus 3 is 51. Then it asks us to describe a feature of each pattern. When I look at these numbers, I first start out by seeing 60, which I know is a multiple of 3 because 3 times 20 is 60. And then when I subtract by 3, I can figure out that these numbers are multiples of 3. Number 4 says add 7. So they have 444 plus up to 451, up to 458. Then when we add another 7, we get 465, and then add another 7, and we get 472. So a feature for this pattern is that the numbers alternate, meaning they switch back and forth from even to odd. So we have even, odd, even, odd, even, and so on. Number 5, the rule is add 25. So we have 85, 110, 135. 135 plus 25 is 160, and 160 plus 25 is 185. And a feature of this pattern is that the numbers are multiples of 5. You could also say these ones alternate between even and odd. They go from 5 to 0, 5, 0, 5, 0, 5. Number 6 says subtract 4. So we have 75, 71, 67. 67 minus 4 is 63. 63 minus 4 is 59. And if you look at all these numbers, they are all odd. For numbers 7 through 12, we're going to use the rule to generate each pattern. So here we're subtracting 10, 90, 80, 70. Add 51. So 16 plus 51 is 67. 67 plus 51 is 118. And number 9, the rule is add 5. So we have 96 plus 5 is 101. 101 plus 5 is 106. For number 10, we have add 107. So we add 43 and 107, and we get 150. And then when we add 107 to 150, we get 257. Number 11 says subtract 15. 120 minus 15 is 105. 105 minus 15 is 90. And next, number 12, subtract 19. 99 minus 19 is 80. 80 minus 19 is 61. So at this point, we're going to move to the back page, which is on page 524. So if you can complete numbers 13 through 20. So pause the video and complete those questions, and then we'll go over them together. So at this point, you should have completed numbers 13 through 20. And we're going to go over those answers together. So first, we're going to look at number 13. Orlando delivers mail. He sees one mailbox that does not have a number. If the numbers are in a pattern, what is the missing number? So we have 27 and then 29. I know that I can add 2 to get from 27 to 29, but now I'm going to check with the rest to see if that works. 33 plus 2 is 35. 35 plus 2 is 37, and 37 plus 2 is 39. So I know that the rule for this is going to be adding 2, so I need to add 2 to 29, and I'll get 31. Number 14 says a tour bus runs 9 times a day, 6 days a week. The bus can carry 30 passengers. Find the greatest number of passengers who can ride the tour bus each week. So first I need to multiply 9 times 6 to see how many bus rides happen in a week, and then I need to multiply, which I get 54. Then I need to multiply 54 times 30 because it can carry 30 passengers, and my answer will be 1,620 passengers. Make sure when you're multiplying double digit by double digit, you use an area model. Number 15, the year 2017 was the year of the rooster on the Chinese calendar. The next year of the rooster will be 2029. The rule is add 12. What are the next 5 years of the rooster? So we need to add 12 to 229, and we get 241. Then we add another 12, and we get 2053. And we add another 12, and we get 2065. Another 12, 2077. And another 12, 2089. Number 16 says describe a feature of the year of the rooster pattern. And when we look at these numbers, this one ends in a 1, a 3, a 5, a 7, and a 9. So they are all odd numbers. All right, number 17 says define rule. Create a number pattern using the rule subtract 7. So in the video, it told us that a rule is a mathematical phrase that tells how numbers in a pattern are related. And then they ask you to create a rule where you subtract 7. So you could pick any number. You don't have to start with 70, but they started with 70. So 70 minus 7 is 63. 63 minus 56 minus 7 is 56. 56 minus 7 is 49. And 49 minus 7 is 42. Now your numbers do not have to be the same, but as long as you picked a number and subtracted 7, then you're correct. Number 18 says some patterns use both addition and subtraction in their rules. The rule is add 3, subtract 2. The next 3 numbers, find the next 3 numbers in the pattern. So first they had 1 and they added 3, which gave them 4. Then they subtracted 2, which gave them 2. Then they added 3, which gave them 5, and subtracted 2, which gave them 3. Then they added 3, which gave them 6, and then subtracted 2, which gave them 4. Then added 3, which gave them 7. Now we need to subtract 2. 7 minus 2 is 5. Then we need to add 3, which gives us 8. And then we need to subtract 2, which gives us 6. So again, it's kind of using a rule and then using a different rule and flipping like that. Number 19, Rima used subtract 3 as the rule to make a pattern. She started with 60 and wrote the next 6 numbers in her pattern. Which number does not belong in Rima's pattern? So she started with 60, and we're going to subtract 3 by counting down. 60 minus 3 is 57. 57 minus 3 is 54. Then 54 minus 3 would give us 51. And 51 minus 3 would give us 48. And the last of the 6 numbers, 48 minus 3 would give us 45. So the one that does not belong would be 26. Number 20, Ivan counted all the beans in a jar. If he counted the beans in groups of 7, which list shows the number Ivan could have named? So what I did was we looked at the numbers and we counted up by 7. So 7 plus 7 is 84. 84 plus 7 is 91, but 91 plus 7 is 98. So this 99 here was not correct. When I count up here, I have 301 plus 7 is 308. 308 plus 7 is 315. So B was also not correct. When I go down to D, I have 14 plus 7 would be 21. So 24 was not correct. So the correct answer is C. 574 plus 7 is 581. 581 plus 7 is 588. And 588 plus 7 is 595. So at this point, you should have completed your Envisions pages. Once you're done filling this all in, you can go to the Canvas page and complete the PowerPoint for the day, and then the exit ticket. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or your teacher, and I'll see you next time.